Hey guys, welcome back. Today I am working on week 32 in my Project Life album. I pulled out my August kit from Studio Calico. It just arrived the other day, but when I was having a look through it, the embellishments weren't really calling to me, especially for this week. The colors in my photos are all kind of quite muted, yeah, it's tail end of winter. It was dark, it was cold, I was sick. So they're kind of like muted. I've changed a couple of them to black and white. And so the kind of August embellishments weren't really getting me. But then I opened up the cards. And I freaking loved them. So I thought they worked really nicely. There's a whole kind of color theme in there that's like sort of brighter primary colors, but then there's these really soft and pretty kind of pastels in there as well, and I just thought that they worked so well. I had to use them, so I'm combining a couple of different things this week. I'm going to use the cards. There's always plenty of cards in these kits, so I don't need to worry about like using up the cards before the embellishments. There's always cards left over. So I'm going to use the Studio Calico cards, and then I pulled out the retro mini kit from Citrus Twist because they kind of have those same sort of, it's not quite as pastel-y, but they're a little bit more muted, so they're not as bright. I thought there were a few things in here that could kind of work really nicely. And I'm a little bit late with this week's spread, so I just wanted to get it done super quick and try not to overthink anything too much. So I'm really just going to add a few little embellishments to each of the cards. Now I finally replenished my Instax film, so I decided to add a little Instax photo on here this week. I always add some sort of permanent adhesive with the Instax photos, like stitching or like a tiny attacher, a staple, just because I know that the tape runner can sometimes like de-stick itself over time, so I always chuck a little staple in there at the top. It really is pretty easy, but I do add adhesive underneath it anyway. The very least it keeps the Instax down flat while you're putting it into the pocket. Now all I did with that is just add a little chipboard sticker on top, and this is like, I'm not even going to call it a recipe because it's basically what I'm going to do with every photo on here. I'm just going to add a couple of stickers or stamps of some description to each photo and really just call it a day. So my iced coffee photo, because yes, we are at the tail end of winter and it did snow this week, but it's never too cold for an iced coffee. I love it. It was my end of week treat, so that Friday feeling sticker was super perfect for it. I just stacked one of the pink ones on top too, because blue's not really a color I've used a lot in here, and so I just wanted to tone that down a little bit with some more of that kind of dusky pink. Now I've got a cute little photo of my kitty Puss there sleeping on her very pillowed fort chair. Little Puss died a couple of weeks ago, so it's a little bit sad doing these pages with the photos of the last kind of weeks of her life, but I thought that was such a cute photo I had to kind of add it in here. Now this was a card I had to use. I loved it. It was never going to end up being like under a photo just because of the way the quote on there fit, but the colors are so pretty, and I actually really love the quote. It says, "All flowers need time to bloom, so do you," which seemed appropriate given that we were almost at spring in this particular week. So I decided to use it as a title card. I'm just going to add these white puffy alphas. I'm going to add that above the quote, and then I'm going to add a label underneath to do my date stamping. So I'm keeping everything like really centered and kind of trying to turn the quote that's actually printed onto the card as kind of part of the design elements. Now there wasn't actually a label in the ephemera pack in the Citrus Twist kit, so I've just dug into my little digital label stash. I had trouble deciding which color that I wanted to use, in the end, I decided to keep it a little bit kind of monochromatic and just use this pink one. It's a softer pink. A lot of the labels I've got in there are kind of brighter, bolder colors, and I didn't want it to stand out too much. I kind of wanted it to blend in with the rest of the card, so I've gone with that soft pink. Now I've got like a couple of photos left, and they're kind of, well, busier, but kind of self-explanatory. There was this photo I took of Lil. She honestly looked like she had just like collapsed over Shane's lap. She really is just sleeping, obviously super comfortable. Like she has, we were having a joke, like she'd had such a hard day. Of sleeping and doing not much and having a total dog's life. But I decided to add one of these snarky sentiments. I can't remember the exact name. I'll link everything I can down below for you. One of these stamps in here. I thought the photo was dark enough to really have my Moonlight White ink stamping, but I think my ink is a little bit dried up and it didn't really show up the first time. So I did do a double stamp. It's not completely perfect, but it's probably better than I've ever really got it before, so that was a win. I decided that I would go through the die cut pack just to have a look and see if there was anything I wanted to add. I pull out a bunch. I don't end up using that many of them, to be honest. I'm going to play around with a few. My two 4x6 photos, they don't really need a whole lot on there, and I didn't really want to sort of cover them up too much. So I'm going to pull out like two of these. The sky photo up the top there, I'm decided not to add any die cuts to it at all. I'm going to add a stamp in there. I do need to dig back into my stash though and find the It's Weathering stamp set from Citrus Twist. I love the circle stamp, as you can see, because I use it all the time. It says today looks like this. And so I'm just going to stamp that, but I'm going to stamp it off to the side, kind of in the like empty portion of the sky up there. And I could have left it like that, but I really wanted to add something into the circle without kind of digging back into my stash. So I'm going to use this chipboard that says Delicious Ice Cream for no other reason than it's fun and it works with the colors on the spread. Obviously, a sky photo doesn't have a whole lot to do with ice cream. If you want to get really technical, I could say, well, the sky was pretty icy, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Now, my little art journaling photo down here, I'm going to do the exact same thing I've done on just about all of the other photos, which is layer up a couple of stickers. I've got one of the die cuts, one of the stickers, and then I've got like 3 little hearts left over on here. I'm going to use them. One of them was yellow, and that's I was kind of auditioning it all over the place, but it's just one tiny little yellow sticker, so it doesn't matter if it's just stuck down the bottom corner there. You hardly notice it. That's my spread all done. It took me less than 25 minutes, which is exactly what I needed to do today. Just a quick little project life spread. Hey, thanks for watching today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, I'm going to leave a couple of videos on screen for you. Otherwise, I'll see you again really soon. Bye.